Hey guys, so I wanted to share something that happened to us yesterday. This is kind of a sticky gray area type of a situation, and I'm sure you guys would definitely appreciate hearing about this and how we handled it because it's definitely, there are a lot of times where you kind of get into areas where it's kind of unclear what the right path forward is. So, about a week ago, we put a property under contract. It's a house in Lee's Summit and met the seller there, walked everything down, everything was good, put it under contract, and we're set to close here in about a week. And yesterday he sent me a text message basically saying, what is the fax number for your company? I need to send you a cancellation notice. And so he sent me this basically a document that he wrote up just saying that he no longer wished to sell us the house, wouldn't give me a reason why. um, and basically he can't do that. So he signed a legally binding contract to sell his house, and this is one of those situations that's kind of tricky because what do you do in that situation? So if it was us, and for example, if we had a flip and we put it on the market to sell it, and a day later somebody made us a higher offer, we can't just back out of that contract and say, "Never mind, we want to sell it to this person." No, that's not how this works. So this guy, he wouldn't tell me the reason. I kind of suspected somebody probably gave him a higher offer, so he was being really kind of, mysterious about it. He wouldn't give me a reason. I told him, hey, if you can explain to me, what the reservations are, I'd be happy to work with you, but I can't do anything if you're not telling me the reason that you wanted to back out. And of course, he wouldn't tell me, so we go back and forth a little bit, and I finally tell him I had to play hardball with him, which I don't like doing this. It makes me feel kind of dirty, and I guess I was questioning my decision, but I told him, well, you signed a legally binding contract to sell us your house. At this point, we've invested quite a bit of time, and we also have some sunk costs here. We're at the title company. We're going through all the title work's almost done, and we can't. We have to hold you accountable for the contract that you signed. So you're kind of forcing us into the situation where we have to file an affidavit of equitable interest against the property, and that basically maintains our rights. That we have equitable interest. So with a signed contract to us, that is our equitable interest in the property. So I basically told him that you're forcing us to file this. If you can give me a reason, an explanation for why you're wanting to back out, I can try to work with you, but you're kind of forcing me into the situation. So that's what I did, and then after that came out, we went back and forth a little bit. He said, well, let me think about it. And about an hour later, he sent me a text message that was clearly meant for another person. He sent it to me on accident, which was kind of funny. But it was clear that somebody else had, come and talked to him and wanted to, pay a little bit more for the house. So I don't know if it was another wholesaler that was trying to swoop in. So anyway, I kind of called him out on it. I sent him a text and said, "Somebody else, you're trying to sell this to somebody else, aren't you?" And then he kind of sheepishly said yes. And he called me back, and he was very apologetic. And in the text message, I explained to him, like, that's illegal what you're trying to do there. And he called me back, and he was very apologetic. And I said, I totally understand and I get it. I've been through that myself. There have been times where we've sold our flip houses, and a day later somebody offered us, a lot more money for it. But we signed a contract. We have an obligation to do that, and it's the same here. It's business. It's nothing personal, and I'm sorry, but we can't afford to just let that go. So that was kind of where it went, and he talked through it with me, and he basically said this other wholesaler had told him to do this, and said just don't say anything about trying to sell it to somebody else. Just say that you don't want to sell it anymore. So that's kind of, I don't know who this other wholesaler was, but that's kind of shady. I'd say that's kind of bad karma coming at you there. So when people do lock up a house, be respectful of that. They're the ones that negotiated the contract. So anyway, so just wanted to share that story with you. That happened yesterday. So we are back in line. We should close on the property here in about a week, and everything's back on track. But it was kind of one of those sticky situations that I don't really like getting into. It's uncomfortable. I really don't like having to threaten to file an affidavit. You know, that kind of feels sleazy to me, but at the same time, you know, it is a business and you have to protect your interests sometimes. So I think it was the right move, but it was definitely one of those things that, you know, I was kind of questioning what's the right decision to make here. So that's really it. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Maybe you can learn something from it. So talk to you later. Bye.